So we open with Heather Gay starting a choir, even though singing does not pay the bills or put food on the table. Oh, good, and she got a gay choir director too, so they gonna be on key. Oh, God, Jen, you are really worrying about an Instagram account when you defrauded the elderly. You are really worried about somebody talking about you when the Southern District of New York attorneys are coming after you with a built case. When the FBI arrested you, you worried about an Instagram? Priorities. So Lisa told her that Angie Harrington's husband set up that fake account. He really out here talking about Lisa and you? Girl, boom. Jen gonna say you humiliated and disrespected my entire family. I feel like you, as the matriarch turning jailbird, I feel like you did that better than Shaw Exposed ever could. Over with Lisa and her ugly husband. Lisa's still whining that her son don't want to go to college, but why you want him in that kind of debt? College ain't always the ticket no more. I don't know, he might be right. And if it ain't for him right now, he can go later. Lisa, how you gonna say, oh, well, it teaches you how to live by yourself. I didn't learn how to cook because my mom didn't cook. Lisa, you don't cook. So what you think he gonna learn? How to order? Over at Whitney's, her coot tells her he's about to be coinless because he got the boot. So y'all ain't got no money because you spent all that money on your beauty crap. So they fired him because Whitney famous? She ain't even that famous. So Heather has the I have too much to do plotline with opening her second beauty lab KK and writing her book. What? Lisa tweets Heather's father's obituary at Andy and Bravo with the Housewives of Salt Lake City / hashtag? Lisa, you are low. Why do you love coming after people's past pappies? You did this shit with Meredith. So Heather's just over it. She's like, look, okay, so he may have been technically alive, but he was really on his way out and it had just left hospice. If you need to be that right, I can't deal with your heifer. And now the family ticked off because they getting dragged into it. Oh, so now Heather gotta uninvite her from the choir. Across town, Whitney and Lisa are gonna do some yoga together. Whitney asked Lisa, so why did you have to retweet that obit to prove that you were right? Where was the lie? The intention wasn't to hurt Heather. The intention was to clear my name by bringing up her dead pappy. Lisa gonna say, I'ma just show up at the choir rehearsal. Even if I get kicked out, it'll be good for the camera. Oh, and here we have Meredith. You haven't engaged all episode. Ooh, and you having dinner with Angie H and her husband. Her husband kind of cute. He gives me a good bear tea. So Angie says, I'm interested to see what Lisa has to say with all these lies they've been telling on me. So Angie's like, I don't know what Whitney's talking about. I never said Lisa used her cooch to sling her hooch. She said, we talked rumors in private, but I didn't mean for this to get on the show. So now the guy with the jazz tickets is mad at him. Angie, how your unknown butt get attacked in the media? Oh, Lord. So Angie's husband admits to creating the fake account. Seth is flabbergasted.
Meredith says, well, it's not great that you created a fake account, but I've been sent things that say Meredith has been doing this as well. So, two wrongs don't make a right, but forget it at the end of the day.
Over at Jen's, Heather stops by and Jen's throwing an alien party. So Jen starts whining about the Shaw Exposed Instagram that now Keith Harrington's admitted to doing. So Keith apologized to Jen for it. Oh goodness, Jen said, I can't believe this is someone I know that would do harm to me and my family because you only screwed elderly people you didn't know. You can't believe it would be people you know doing something to you. Well, all the negative energy you put out came home to roost, heifer. Oh goodness, we do not need to hear Lisa Barlow trying to hit a hymn note. At least her husband's telling her it's totally off. Singing in the key of off. Child, Angie and Whitney rehearsing. Angie and Whitney was getting them legs up. So everybody shows up to help Heather pick her little people. She got Meredith and Jen. Jen gonna do crowd control. Meredith gonna judge. How you non-singing but judging? Nobody needed to give Jen Shaw a microphone. And Angie, okay, we get it. You can get your leg up. You look like a Salt Lake swinger right now. Just advertising. But now Jen can't believe that Angie's there. Well, that was the shit, and I'ma see you soon for something. So we open with Patty Lupone watching the guy that's gonna take over for her perform Witchcraft, the song. Not any Yiddika Yaddika Maddika Mishka. He is really trying to give us Patty Lupone, and she's like, it's too screechy. However, Patty's starting a new business, but she gets a call and she says, you've got to be kidding me. What could the news be? Over with Sandra Bernhardt, she's getting some fruit from a stand. Sandra Bernhardt shopping for fruit, and as she's heading home, she sees a help wanted sign in the window of a psychic reading place, so she goes in. Patty Lupone is in there and says 2 of her psychics quit and she'll need anybody who can fill in for a night shift, and Sandra says, okay, I can learn tarot cards. So I guess that was the devastating news Patty got on the phone. I feel like most people have premonitions at some point in their lives, just some more than others. So Sandra says, I'll see you tomorrow. She go home and call her friend, and she's like, I don't know how I feel about lying to people, but it is entertainment. Ooh, but that night, she look out her window and she see the big leather guy looking at her. Over with Adam and the blood test heifer, she's talking about how fabulous her pregnancy's going. So he donated his sperm for her, but he's glad he ain't got to raise it. So they see the same psychic that Sandra just started working at, and they go in to see if they having a boy or a girl. And Fran's like, oh, blood test heifer, what you doing here? Oh, so they go to leave, and Fran says, you're with child. So she tell the blood test heifer she gonna have a daughter, and then Adam asks his question, where's my missing friend? She pulls out the death card, and he gets too scared. He's like, let's go back to her. So she cut the cards again. Lord, so she ends up turning over 3 death cards, and Sandra's like, there's only 1 death card in a deck. Now Adam getting mad. You're trying to scare us. Well, it is entertainment. So he throws the deck of cards, and they're all death cards. And she's like, ooh, this is odd. Over with the gay cop, him and Leslie Grossman are finally getting a divorce, but she ain't feeling well. She gonna say we're throwing everything away, this feels like a mistake. Honey, he wants peen, not puss. So she signed the papers, but then she fall out. So he wake up in the hospital with her after she passed out. So she asks him to go home and feed her dog. However, he senses somebody's in the apartment. Lord, and it's the leather guy, and he starts beating him up. So the big leather guy runs away. He calls his other police people for backup, but they think it was a tryst gone wrong. Not a tryst. However, her red blood count low, and she's concerned because that's what happened to all the people that were in the fire. And why would I have those symptoms? I wasn't in a fire. Because you got the same thing them deer got. Meanwhile, across town, the gay cop's walking his ex-wife back into her heezy. Back with Adam, he's telling Theo what's going on with the low red blood count. Oh, Lord, Theo bringing him back for a new psychic reading. So they're going to get a dual reading. So the first card up is Judgment. Come judge for me. Come judge for me. Then they get the Devil card, and then they get the Death card, and the room starts to shake. Girl, when we had that 5.1 out here, I was on this couch, I was like, okay, here we go. I was sleeping. And I was like, okay, I'm about to sleep through this earthquake. 'Cause it really wasn't nothing I could do. When I felt the couch shimmy. Oh! Child, Adam asked who's gonna die, and Sandra Bernhardt said with a demon voice, yeah. But then she comes back and it's like, that shaking was just the subway, and I guess Theo didn't see her do it. Later that day at the Native, Gino finally comes back to work. So Adam tells him about his psychic reading. And of course, the gay writer gonna go over there. So Patty gives him his reading, and Fran takes a lunch. Judgment, the Devil, and Death come up again. And then the lights flash. So Patty tells him, you're an angry man and your life is spinning out of control. Everyone around you is dying. I can smell it. We see an angel of death appear in the background. So after he gets his bad fortune, he goes home to shower. The ex-wife is showering too. He's seeing that lesion on his skin grow. So with the gay writer, he thinks he sees the big leather guy in the mirror. He turns around and he's not there. But then the leather guy attacks the ex-wife in the shower while she's looking at the cop. I don't know if this is actually real. Is she imagining the cop there? Yeah, she was imagining the cop there. Now he come over, he go in the bathroom, and he see her dead. So he go outside and start attacking the cop car. Then he get home to the gay writer. Po thing. Over with Whitey, he got them two boys tied up, and he gonna start hacking away at them. And he telling them the stunt he gonna pull at the Pride Parade. And he got this Frankenstein monster that's going to be the new gay sentinel. All right, well, let's get to the next one. So we open Fire Island, 1981. Who's this couple humping on the beach? Uh-oh, something bit them. Now they looking for what bit them. Oh, it's like bone. You can't see shit. You always shoot this so darn dark. Oh, it's a whole skull. No. Now we got the gay cop and the gay writer getting ready to interview the blood test heifer. They want to talk to her about the firebombing. So they know she took blood from the people at the fire and they need to get Whitey's blood to identify him, but she's stalling him. She's like, this ain't an official investigation, and I've got to protect doctor-patient confidentiality. You ain't gonna hip on me. Oh, but she sees he's got a lesion. So the gays that got bit on Fire Island call the gay cop because they, have heard he actually cares about the Mai Tai killer, and they letting him know, we found a skull and it's out here just people. Ooh, and the body's wearing a leather mask. So the gay cop says, I'ma head over and check it out. Meanwhile, with Thackeray, he gets a call from the gay cop saying they have a problem. Meanwhile, down at the park, the owner of the townhouse bar is meeting with the mob. He's upset that the gay writer is talking about the popo in the native. So the gay cop gonna head out to Fire Island, but he tells the gay writer, this ain't my jurisdiction, so stay home for me. Make a pot roast. So the gay writer asks him, are you cheating? And he says, don't be jealous now. I don't need no nonsense. So the gay writer gonna follow his butt. Oh, he gonna see Zachary Quinto picking him up and think it's Chitete. But murder is the same time sniffing. So he stormed back in the heezy. Oh, but the townhouse owner's in his house. So he tell him, look, you gotta stop writing this stuff or I'm gonna have to kill you. The gay writer said, well, you're only helping the killer because there's a new murder on Fire Island. He's already out there. And the townhouse owner's like, Fire Island? So maybe he's attached to this body too. So out on Fire Island, the gay cop and Thackeray go see the guys who found the body, and they tell them, keep it on the hush, don't say nothing. So they talking about burying somebody in a shallow sand dune. But who and why? Fire Island is so beautiful. The hell? So as they go out to dig up the body, we got the townhouse guy and the gay writer out on the beach with them. And the townhouse guy's like, he wanted the information, so I brought him here. The gay cop's like, look, you're not a part of this. Go away. Okay, so flashback to 79. The first time the gay cop came to Fire Island, he met Sam, Zachary. So they got all hied up. Then they get this twink chained up. This is why people that are into leather normally don't mess with drugs. So they put a hood over his head, put him in one of them wooden stock things, and he apparently dies of asphyxia. Patrick trying to do CPR, honey, he gone. So his name is Velvet Tut. Oh, and he worked with Whitey, and Whitey gonna hack him up. We really gotta watch the hacking. We didn't need the hacking. So now that the gay writer know the full story, the gay cop telling him to go home so he won't be an accessory to body disposal. Oh goodness, now Gino trying to help. He's like, well, I can't call the popo. Oh, but wait a minute, they ain't seeing no cuts in them bones. This body was dissected. The cop wants to know who dissected the body. And he says his name is Whitey. So Gino and Velvet Touch, aka the townhouse guy, go to ID Whitey. The gay cop give him the gun and stay back with Thackeray. So at the ferry, the townhouse guy call Whitey, but he ain't home. So then he call him at work, where, I don't know, is this a morgue or his lair? It's probably his lair. So they gonna meet at Maltese Bar at 9. However, Velvet Touch knows that Whitey's spidey senses is tingling. He said, okay, well, if this is the murderer, we gonna have to take him out tonight. Cause I ain't got time, heifer. I need a waffle. So they gonna lure him out to the car, and if it's him, Velvet Touch gonna finish him off while the gay rider keeps him at gunpoint. So as the gay rider hiding in the car, Whitey tries to hit Velvet Touch with a Mai Tai, and he's like, I'll have a whiskey. You ain't gonna drug me, boo-boo. So he says, let me go to the pisser. But he taking a while. Ooh, but he gets Velvet Touch in the bathroom. But Whitey gets him with the chloroform and drags him out the bar. The gay rider sees Whitey throwing Velvet Touch into his car and keeps hiding in the back seat. And it ends with Gino calling Patrick saying the killer has the townhouse guy, Velvet Touch. All right, well, that was the shit, and I'm going to see you soon for Bill Collective.